I feel like y'all just be picking the darkest, ugliest black girl and giving her kudo points for being pretty. And I don't take back what I said. Like, I feel like when it comes to black girls, y'all pick the ugliest woman who is dark skinned. And then y'all just want to be like, oh, she's pretty. No, like, there's dark skinned girls who are really pretty. And y'all gonna attack me and say I'm a bitch. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm racist, which I'm not. But, like, it's just kind of like how y'all been shoving down people's necks with Lupita. And I'm not saying she's, like, but ugly. I'm not saying that. I just feel like I hate that when it comes to black girl beauty standards, y'all always pick the struggle. Y'all always pick the struggle black girl who can't even compete when it comes to, like, statistics or standards to be like, that's a pretty bitch. Like, I feel like y'all give brownie points just because a bitch is dark skinned. But I've seen some really dark skinned bad bitches. Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm talking about, like, bad bitch, dark skin. But y'all never want to give the really pretty dark skin. Y'all always pick the fucking mediocre dark skin girl, and then y'all all give her pity points. I feel like y'all be giving pity points for a bitch being dark skinned and pretty. And as a black woman, I'm really offended because, like, there's really beautiful black girls out there. No makeup, no filter, no nothing, bitch. Me, ho, me. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm 100% real. It's really upsetting. Y'all always just like struggle. Y'all just want struggle to relate. And some bitches are not relatable. Girl, and giving her kudos.
Girls like this are so weird to me, especially if we share a skin tone. Why are you bothering yourself with white people shit? Like, why are you worried about another woman's beauty? How does that affect you? You could have said this to a therapist instead of recording it and posting it in a room as big as the internet. Are you not embarrassed?
I feel like y'all just be picking the darkest, ugliest black girl and giving her kudos.
This is such a non-issue, and this is such a disingenuous take. There are so many things as black women to be outraged about. For you to be outraged about what you call a mediocre dark-skinned woman, the mediocre woman in question being Lupita Nyong'o, getting praised, saying that people are praising her because she's out of pity, as if she does not literally have features that people lay on a table to get, as if she doesn't have the same features that people are using filters to have: a very demure nose, very beautiful, intriguing eyes, high cheekbones, skin that anybody will go to any dermatologist and pay all the money in their bank account for, full lips. And you're sitting here discussing her looks as if you are qualified. I don't know what high horse you got on to even speak of this, but somebody lied to you several times and told you that you were fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful, and you're nothing like that. You're nothing of the sort. I don't even get you're talking about, oh, we should be praising pretty dark-skinned girls that are relatable. It doesn't matter the skin color. Inside and out, you cannot relate to a beautiful woman. That is why you really got on here. You don't really care about representation of dark-skinned women, because as a dark-skinned woman, the way I see it is, why do dark-skinned women have these like outrageous standards to be deemed beautiful? Why can't dark-skinned women be mediocre and get praised? Why can't we? Why do we have to be above and beyond? Why do we have to be the black Barbie aesthetic in order for our beauty to be praised? I think dark-skinned women with all types of features of all ranges should have more praise, actually. Anytime I see a dark-skinned woman getting praised, as somebody who was younger and wanted representation of myself, I love it. I don't care. But also, I'm actually pretty and I'm actually beautiful, and I hear about it all the time. I don't have to rage bait, because what you wanted to do, you wanted to come on here and put another black woman down so that people could get in your comments and go, yeah, more people that look like you should be praised. You're actually really pretty. You're beautiful. You are nothing of the sort, inside and out. However, if you do want to talk about something when it comes to dark-skinned women and representation, there are so many things to talk about, like the tropes that they give us in these shows. I want to know, why does the dark skinned girl always have to be the supportive best friend? Why does she always have to take the emotional mammy role? Why does she always have to be over sexualized? Why does she always have to be unsure of herself? I'm really grateful for women like Issa Rae, who brought dark skinned women to the forefront with a range of features that could be the love interest, that could be the main character, that didn't have to be perfectly imperfect. They could just be themselves, be awkward, be witty, be funny, and be praised. I'm going to end on this note. Aside from you being unqualified to speak on anything about pretty women because you're speaking from outside of the club, please, black women, let's do better. There is no need to bring another black woman down to rage bait and try to get people to compliment you. It's not going to work in your favor. Now you have people in your comments saying you look like Rick James, Shrek, and Fiona, and DDG's cousin. I don't even know who DDG's cousin is.
Bruh, y'all be giving a pretty dark skin title to one of the most ugliest bitches ever. Like, what the fuck? Like, I know I'm ugly, but I'm light skinned. So, you know, I'm prettier regardless. So, it's just like, nah, that bitch Lupita, y'all just call anybody pretty. I don't do that, Bookie. I don't do that. So how about y'all click on my link, subscribe to my YouTube, listen to my rap. But yeah, dark skin bitches are.
You bitches are really like delusional. The fact that you think Lupita look better than me. Listen, she's richer than me, yes, for now. Look better than me. Stop it. Stop it. You bitches in my comments fighting for your lives. Let me change that. I said Lupita wasn't pretty, but I think I needed to say Lupita isn't sexy. And we need to bring sexy black women into the field. I don't give a fuck if you think she's pretty. But the truth of the matter is, you bitches make a nigga dick soft. Like, I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm saying. But I can't really say what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? The bitches that get what I'm saying get what I'm fucking saying. Okay? The dick isn't getting hard. You bitches make a nigga dick soft. Nikki said it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not being sexy. You could change that. Same thing as a nigga being broke. You could change that. But again, you bitches make a nigga dick soft. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the shit. Erectile dysfunction. That's what you bitches are on. It's not my fault. And no, you can't tell me I'm not sexy. I'm not your mother. I am sexy. Dark-skinned girls don't all just look alike. Y'all be making racist comment, and it's really racist. Now, I don't know if this is racism or not, but y'all help me, okay? Somebody commented in my page. I talked about Lupita and Anoki, the supermodel. And this black woman commented and said, her and Lupita look alike. And I told her, I said, no, that's a very racist comment. The only reason why you say that is because they're the same shade or very much similar to the same shade. But as a black person, you should see the difference in their facial features like this. And you made such an ignorant comment, just like how white people think all black people look alike. That is such a racist thing when y'all group all dark-skinned women into the same box and say they have similar features, they look alike. They don't. Dark-skinned girls don't all look alike. Dark-skinned girls don't all look alike. Dark-skinned girls don't all just look alike. Y'all be making racist comment, and it's really racist. Like, that's like the most racist comment ever, and it's sad when it comes from black people.
Yeah, I ran to the comments. I went and I seen somebody said, "Sir, please," and I almost fell out. It was hilarious because the first thing I thought, I was like, damn, what's wrong with Anthony Mackie? But anyway, somebody said, look at me falling for rage bait. And somebody else, the content creator of this video was like, it's rage bait to celebrate beautiful dark women. So I don't know if that was sarcasm or anything. You know, people don't, believe in punctuation like that in social media. So you never know. But anyway,
Here's my opinion on the take. I usually don't even have these type of conversations because this is definitely above my pay grade. This is not my jurisdiction. But if you want to have this topic and you want to talk about who's ugly and who's pretty, you go get the smoke. You gonna get the smoke. Plus, um, I don't know if this woman is FBA or not. But I did hear, as a lady who commented prior that she had a Nigerian husband who dog walked her, which is crazy work. I don't understand what's going on in the world today. But yeah, I've heard other women say that same sentiment that she said, but I don't understand the Lupita hate. I don't get that part. Um, I guess I'm just not on the internet enough to understand. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments because I am so confused on how we even got here. This definitely caused an uproar on TikTok. When you go down TikTok, you see it left and right. You have left and right. You have some women saying, yeah, it's accurate. Not all dark women look alike. Not all dark women are equal. And then you have other women saying, who cares if they are equal or not? It's already enough of people who go against them. Why add more fuel to the fire? And my thing is this. If you're going to try to come on here and make these type of comments and make these type of points, you lost me when you said you look better than Lupita because that's not accurate. Um, it is delusional at its finest. And if you're going to come on here looking like Anthony Mackie, you cannot talk about who's pretty, who's not pretty. That's just not something you should come on here and say. Um, it it just people even if you're accurate on what you're saying or somebody feels like you're talking facts, it ain't gonna go too far with the face you got. um I ain't gonna talk about the woman because I don't know the woman, but what I will say is I don't for you I think she's trolling. I think on social media a lot of times when you get on here, rage bait and talking trash and drama, it does sell, so people are going to continue to engage in the drama. Now this was the funniest thing in the comments. They tore her behind up. Somebody said, I watched this video like 5 times to finally realize who you remind me of. And they talk about that Terry person. I forget. Y'all let me know in the comments what's his name. Is Terry something. But oh my God, I laughed so hard. She do low key look like Kermit the Frog, but you can't come on here talking about people and saying who's ugly and who's not, and you don't fit the picture. You don't fit the bill yourself. I mean, regardless on how you feel about yourself, it's good that you have confidence within yourself. But the way these comments are coming for you, it's the plan. The plane is not landing. Um, a lot of people have been talking about colorism more now, or I've just been hearing it now more than I've heard it before. And it's not usually Black Americans. I noticed it be like, other cultures of people. There's other cultures who, bleach their skin and play in cake soap and all that other stuff to try to get lighter. It's really crazy how that happens. And then they'll drag a couple of FBA people in it and make it their problem, which a lot of people haven't experienced that. And then some people have experienced that. It just depends on who you speak to, right? So I don't ever want to take away from anybody else's experiences of being dark. So I'll let them tell their own story because I don't know nothing about that. But what I will say is this. There is a lot of people who are FBA who are having this discussion, and a lot of people that I've encountered with or interacted with or I have encountered, excuse me, or I have interacted with, has been saying it's really not an FBA issue. So when I do go on or stumble upon these type of talking points and everything, I'll be wanting to know, like, where are these people from to be having these conversations? And I'm not saying that it ain't some FBA people who hasn't experienced colorism, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, they have. Like, come on now. But at the same time, a lot of people who are darker skin or more melanated have been saying that they haven't had the same experience. But I just don't understand that. Why bring Lupita in it? Lupita, in my opinion, is very pretty, but she's trying to say that Lupita is not sexy. And it's like, do you want her? I don't understand her point. And then people bring up Naomi Campbell as someone who is a sexy melanated woman. Like there's so many to choose from. People talk about Kelly Rowland all of the time, okay? So I don't understand what she's talking about. Maybe she seen something on the internet and she was like annoyed by it or something. But and everybody has the right to their own opinion. But if you're going to have an opinion about that, you may very well better fit the part as best as you can. Because you talking about everybody fighting for their life. I think your life for fighting for your life just started. Because they tearing you up in the comments. Like, again, you can have your own opinion on how you feel. And you have every right to it, just like everybody else. But you better be ready for the smoke that comes along with it. I don't think that a person who looks like her would have been a good candidate to speak on anybody's looks. That's just my opinion. She looks very strong in the face. And she looked like, she put niggas in headlocks on Christmas. So I don't know why she would feel like I guess she just comfortable in her skin enough to say that. But, when that person commented, "Sir, please," oh my gosh, it was just too funny. So somebody said, honestly, even if we promote average looking dark skinned women, what's wrong with that? Why do dark skin have to be supermodel level to be adored and loved? That's a good question. That's a really, really, really good question. Honestly, too, though, I've seen, because there is a stereotype that light skinned women are pretty. Just because you light skinned do not mean you pretty. And I've said that for so many years because it's a lot of bitches on here looking like motherfucking glowworms who think they fine because they light skinned and they walking around looking like light skinned predator. No, no, that's not accurate. You gotta look like something. These girls, child, I need that stereotype to end quick. Just because you light skinned don't mean you pretty, because it's a lot of mud ducks out here. A lot of mud ducks out here, and no shade, but they will come on here and think they look better because of their skin tone, and they forgot that they look like Teddy Ruxpin in the face. That's just my opinion. I don't think every light skinned girl is pretty. I don't. I just don't. I mean, you can see it on the internet every day as you scrolling on TikTok. I've posted a couple. It just ain't hidden. And that's okay. You have to have ugly people and beautiful people and mediocre people and average people and all this other stuff. There's like a hierarchy of looks, you know. You got the girls who are pretty enough to you know, get pretty privilege and get everything done for them and all that stuff because of they look. And then you got the other ones who got to work a little bit harder because they face card declines every time. So it really, really depends on the person. As far as the skin tone of dark or more melanated, I have no comment in that because I have no dog in the fight. But even with the situation with Ari Lennox, they were saying that Ari Lennox was really upset. Well, not really upset, but she stated her opinion about Martin, and now she getting a lot of flack on Martin.
The thing that pissed me off about Martin was how much he would go on Pam. Like, I know, like, and this is coming from a girl who I love me a good, like, joking ass movie, and even when the joking movie is like, damn, like, that was fucked up, like, I'm not like too woke or something is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm honestly not, I'm problematic. I'm pretty problematic, low key. But my point is that there are some things where I draw the line and it just bothered me. Or like, I don't know, it's like, Pam was so fucking beautiful and so fine. And I just feel like growing up as a chocolate girl, Like, I don't even know if I was able to understand the greatness of Pam because of the light that I feel like I was being fed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, always.
Can anyone help me figure out what the fuck Ari Lennox is talking about? At what point in the show did Martin ever joke about Pam's complexion? Everything he said was about her breath and attitude. Where the fuck do y'all come up with this? It's like y'all live in y'all own bubble of victimization. Let me tell you something about professional victimhood. A professional victim will get on the internet and make a claim about some shit she's seen in a Facebook group full of bitter ass black women. And come on, you putting all this shit on Martin. No, that nigga never said nothing about Pam's skin tone ever on the show. It's not a joke you can find on any season of Martin where he's talking about her skin tone. Did you know Pam wrote some of them jokes that Martin said? Did you know that part? Did you know Tashina Arnold actually came on the internet and said, hey, why are y'all tweaking on my boy? Martin ain't never made me feel bad for being a dark-skinned woman. If anything, Martin actually defended me being a dark-skinned woman and wouldn't entertain some jokes because he knew what kind of conversation it would perpetuate. He knew what kind of stigmas he would be perpetuating. He was fully participating and aware of societal standards and societal, temperatures. He knew not to say certain shit. She on the internet saying that. So somebody asked Ari Lennox, where the fuck did this come from? Let's get down to the bottom.
Ari just go live and just, she say things. So sometimes it is random. Maybe she was watching Martin and it triggered her, because it's all over. Martin is on Netflix. Martin is on, you can find it everywhere. So maybe she was just watching.
I've never been triggered. I'm a brown-skinned girl.
Never
been triggered.
Actually, it's still one of the best shows ever.
What you looking at?
Shut up.
What's up?
Shut up. Continue on.
When she said triggered, I was just like, you haven't been triggered, but you've been wiggered.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ari Lennox took to the internet and she said that the show Martin, the jokes that Martin used to, fire at Pam on the show made her feel insecure as a dark-skinned girl. She felt offended as a dark-skinned girl. And, she thought it was very offensive that Martin would hurl these jokes at Pam throughout the whole show, with her being a fellow dark-skinned girl. The only problem with that is Martin never said anything about Pam being dark-skinned. He was always ragging on the buckshots, the back of the neck, the little BDBs in the back. That's what Martin was always talking about. As a matter of fact, Martin always talked about Tommy's bald head. He always talked about Cole not being the most intelligent friend out the group. And he always talked about Gina having a big ass head. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all ain't that generation. Y'all are not that generation. This cancel generation of, this was offensive. No, that was comedy. Y'all just sensitive. That's all that is. First of all, Martin was ragging on everybody. And everybody was ragging on Martin. Everybody talked about how short Martin was and how he had big ass ears. The whole show was full of everybody ranking everybody. Jonesing each other. Matter of fact, all the classic shows always had a dynamic male and female duo of them a banter going back and forth. Good times. Had JJ and Thelma. You understand? What was it? All in the Family. Had Archie Bunker and his wife. They would go back and forth. Jeffersons had George Jefferson and the housekeeper. My bad. But I'm just saying. That was always Sanford and Son. He would always call Lamont dummy. And let us not forget Esther. Lamont and Esther stayed, not Lamont, but Fred Sanford and Esther stayed going at it. You understand? No, and he would flat out call her ugly on the damn show. It was comedy. I'm sorry. Look. Let me just save all y'all some time. All right, everybody who was born from the 2000s on forward. Let me save y'all some time. Matter of fact, I will go probably as far as say 1995 on up to now. Let me save y'all some time. When it comes to anything that happened in the 90s on back, when it comes to sitcoms, the type of comedy, shut up. Don't say nothing. Because it ain't your thing. That is not your world. That is not your world. Y'all come from the cancel culture. That is not what that was. And back then it was race jokes, sex jokes, it was all kind of stuff. It wasn't none of this little soft ass play school stuff that y'all be talking about. Y'all cry at the drop of a damn hat because y'all come from a place where, you know, they handed out participation trophies and ribbons and whatnot. So y'all just cry about every damn thing.
So Ari Lennox was saying how it never sat right with her how Martin used to come for Pam and her looks on the show. And honestly, as a dark skinned woman, that never bothered me because he never once spoke about her skin tone. He spoke about her weave, you know, her hair, her breath. He spoke about like just funny shit about her, but never talked about her skin tone. And Pam used to come for Martin too. She was just as witty, just as funny. I never once felt some type of way about the way he joked on her because it wasn't offensive. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, I heard a little rumor that Martin was fucking Pam anyway in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and Pam was beautiful. We all know this. Sometimes I feel like Ari Lennox just says, like, rage baity things. Because, honestly, where did this come from? This has never been a problem, ever.
Ari Lennox, are you okay? Do you know how miserable you have to be to turn Martin into some negative colorism think piece? Do you know how miserable you look and sound? As a dark-skinned woman, I am not offended by no jokes that was told on Martin. Not one. I'm not a dark-skinned woman that is ever insecure about no light-skinned woman. I'm never going to be insecure about my skin tone. I love how dark I am. I love my skin tone. Do you? Do you? You are in an industry where it seems like, you know, colorism does play a lot into your success, but at the same time, like, it's what you make it. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know the politics of it because I'm not in the industry. But you sound so miserable sitting at home dissecting Martin. Like, we got to stop being in this space where you're turning our art, our beloved art, people in general at this point that I'm talking about. We got to stop turning our art into these negative things. You're tearing down a successful TV program that literally made it what it is right now today. Martin was the first black TV program at that on Fox that made it what it is today. And you're sitting up here talking down on it about how colorist it is. No, it's not. Everybody got smoke on there, even Gina. Everybody got smoke on there. So you need to. J. Cole ain't got nothing for you to do. J. Cole don't got nothing on your agenda to do at Dreamville. You need to call up Jasmine Sullivan. Call up somebody to find something to do. Because what you're not about to do is switch up Martin, okay? You're not about to do that. And now you upsetting different people who are also insecure as fuck about their skin tone. See, love starts at home. Love starts at home. Love starts within you. And you about to sit up here and tear down Martin. I had to get out of my office, bitch, because it was pissing me off. Because I'm like, something is mentally wrong with you to a comedy show at that. So what? Even getting mad at stuff from the past, especially like that, so like Martin is one of the greatest comedians of all time, and you about to sit up and tear down his show because of jokes about Pam when everybody got it on there. Girl, love yourself, girl. Love yourself. You lost weight and you look good. Your music is still popping. You have a beautiful voice. Know your worth, girl. Love starts within you. Okay? And if you are a dark-skinned woman that is triggered by Martin all of a sudden because Ari Lennox say so, same thing to you. Find some worth in yourself. Don't be intimidated or slighted. As a dark-skinned woman, I'm never going to be slighted by no woman that's light-skinned. I think all skin tones are beautiful, even darker than mine. I consider every skin tone beautiful. So y'all need to find some love within yourself because y'all getting weird as fuck, like dissecting Martin. No, you're not about to do that. You weird as fuck for that. I'm not even gonna lie. You was weird as fuck for that. So sit your $5 ass down for a bitch make change hoe. Like, what is you talking about?
I've never heard not one, and I've seen every single Martin episode, right? Every single Martin season. I have yet to hear, and nor that I recall, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. When did he ever make jokes about Pam's skin tone? Is this a projection just because his wife was light skinned? Martin used to joke on everybody. Everybody got the business. Martin joked on his best friends, Tommy and Cole. Martin joked on his wife, Gina, always talked about the size of her head. He would square up. He would square up with Miss Jerry, a senior citizen. Like Pam was a victim or something like that. She used to crack on Martin, and a lot of times her jokes would be funnier than Martin's jokes. You know the irony? Pam was always desired more than Gina. Like when I was growing up, Pam was the attractive one. Pam was the sexy one. Gina was all right. I mean, she was a pretty woman, but Pam was the one that all the dudes wanted. But that's a big projection. And for her to say that on a public platform is disrespectful to Martin, is disrespectful to the cast, the crew, and it's disrespectful to a legendary show just altogether.
Look, sometimes I don't like to speak on stuff like this because me being a brown skinned girly, when I don't just automatically back up the brown skinned girlies, y'all be trying to eat me up like, you being a dark skinned woman yourself. Man, look, I don't give a damn. Like, let's be for real here. If y'all have been following me for a long time, y'all know I am obsessed with the Martin TV show. Like, I used to have the box set DVDs. I used to just watch it all day, every day, nothing else but Martin, okay? I cannot recall one time he said something about Pam's skin tone, her complexion. He talked about her BDBs, her buckshots. He talked about her run-over shoes. He talked about her stanky breath. Like, so I'm trying to talk about her weavy wonder, unbelievable. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, Ari Lennox, like, did she have run-over shoes? Did Ari Lennox have stanky breath? Did Ari Lennox had a crazy amount of weave where she was unbelievable? Did she have some BDBs and buckshots? Because what else would you be offended by? Because, I mean, come on now. As a black woman, it don't matter what complexion you are. You could have BDBs and buckshots. You could have stanky breath. You could have run over shoes. Like, so I don't understand how any of the jokes that he said specifically was like geared towards being brown skin or dark skin. Make it make sense.
So the conversation basically is Ari Lennox did an interview where she stated that growing up as a dark-skinned girl, it was hard to watch Martin sometimes because he was always shooting on Pam, who was a dark-skinned woman, and she felt like she was beautiful, but Martin always had something to say about her. Now, before I start, let me say this. This is Ari Lennox's opinion and her experience growing up as a dark-skinned little girl, so I can't really be mad at her for feeling this way because this is how she feels. I can't be mad at that. But now, this is my opinion. I feel like we're really doing too much. Like, I feel like us going back and trying to revisit old shows and pick them apart is just, to me. I don't know. The whole show was a big roasting session. Martin would talk about Pam. Pam would talk about Martin. Shanae would talk about Gina. Like, it was never about colorism or skin color. That's why I'm confused. Martin never called her too dark, burnt, cooked, nothing. So I'm just a little confused on why colorism is the conversation or the topic. That's just like me saying Pam hates short people and the writers of Martin hate short people because she always had a short joke and I grew up short. Like, no, it don't work that way. Also, we not gonna act like Pam was some type of loser or square or she was getting bullied or something, because Pam was going neck and neck with Martin. Sometimes her jokes was funnier than his, if we being honest. Pam was in the paint. I just feel like we're a little too sensitive nowadays. I really do. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like everything is just a little bit too sensitive. I'm like, Like, Gina stayed getting the big head jokes and the big forehead jokes. Like, the jokes never ended on the show. So, I don't know. I feel like this is just a little bit too much. It's too much dip on that chip. The salsa is dripping. Boo, tomato, tomato. And then I've even heard Pam and Martin say that it was stuff that they wanted them to say that they would not say because it was a little bit too far. So, they both understood their role on the show and they were okay with it. So, I just don't really get it.
So you can infer that Ari Lennox is saying that the jokes between Martin and Pam are colorist, but Ari Lennox herself can't infer that the jokes between Martin and Pam are colorist. Make that make sense, bro. Let me be clear about something. Ari Lennox never uses the word colorism or colorist. She does not say that Martin's jokes towards Pam are colorist. Y'all said that shit, okay? I understand the inference because she said as a dark-skinned little girl, watching that dynamic made her feel some type of way and it pissed her off. So I understand where you got it from, but at the same time, if you can infer that, then somebody can infer that Martin calling motherfucking Pam BDB or whatever, fixing the gnats in the back of her head or calling her a dog, a horse, and all this other type shit is the colorist. So she said that she adores Martin, the show, the characters, years. She called it legendary. It's not the fact that he was ragging on Pam. It's the way that he ragged on Pam. And all of the excuses y'all can come up with are cool, whatever. You interpreted it one way, she interpreted it another. Due to her personal experience, and yours might be different, it's okay to hold space for all of them. What's crazy is I'm seeing all of these think pieces talking about Ari Lennox is projecting, she's too sensitive, she too woke, go take a nap, and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, y'all are doing the exact same thing you are accusing her of doing to her. Y'all are the ones being sensitive and projecting, because once again, she never uses the word colorist or colorism. What's crazy is as y'all sit here and tell her that she needs to go to therapy, you need to be doing your own inner work, because the fact that you don't recognize how triggered you are in this conversation speaks volumes. I truly do believe that this response is rooted in trauma, because we don't want unnecessary critique to our culture, to our media, to our persons, because we are constantly under surveillance in this country and we are constantly being critiqued, and unjustly so. So I understand the impulse to want to protect Martin and its legacy, but that doesn't mean that problematic shit didn't happen and we need to talk about it. Our community is plagued with colorism, texturism, featureism, massage noir, anti-blackness. All of it happens within our community. We are also humans. The same things that happen in other communities happen here too. We have been steeped in white supremacy and all of this bullshit for over 400 years now? Be so fucking for real. It's okay to acknowledge that some of our media has problematic shit in it, because our community has problematic shit in it. And until we can rectify with that, we are constantly going to be on this hamster wheel of having these discussions and discourse around shit that really we shouldn't be arguing about. We should just be trying to figure out how to move forward from. What I want for black people is for us to take that white supremacist handbook, close that bitch, and toss that bitch across the sea. Because every time we have a discourse or a discussion on this app, that's the first thing that y'all motherfuckers will pick up. Come the fuck on. How are you gonna sit here and invalidate this woman's experience because you didn't have the same experience? It's the same way these white people will get up in your face and tell you that their microaggressions can't possibly be racist because they never called you a nigga. Just because Martin never said anything explicit about Pam's skin tone or anything like that does not mean that his statements can't be rooted in colorism. Once again, Ari Lennox never said anything about Martin being colorist, about the show promoting colorism. She didn't even use the word colorism, okay? That once again was something that people inferred from her statements. So saying that Martin couldn't possibly be colorist against Pam because he never said anything about her being dark-skinned is willfully obtuse. She never spoke for anybody but herself. She did not speak for black women, and she did not speak for dark-skinned women. I don't understand why everybody is dogpiling on her in this instance, but you know what? I think I can figure out why.
Tell me you didn't watch Martin without telling me you didn't watch Martin. Ari, what the... Though Martin and Pam roasted each other like a motherfucker, everybody got it for one, but he never joked about her complexion. Anything about her being dark-skinned. I don't know what you're coming from. Gina, light-skinned. You should get it about her head being big. Martin used to get it about his height, his big ears, like Tommy about being bald and etc. Everybody got roasted on that show. What the fuck are you talking about? This is a huge reach. You sounding like determination over trust. They be like, what that mean? Die. Our battle rap fans will catch that. Now, growing up in the 90s, we used to get cooked. Yeah, dark-skinned, we used to get cooked, but not on the show. Not on Martin. He wasn't going at Pam like that by the buckshots. They might say she had a big old, you know what I mean, her, but that's it. Ari Lennox, I just can't agree with you on this one. This is a huge reach. But as always, I'm just trying to give you the large picture. Your daddy wasn't no gangster. Y'all thought Martin was disrespectful about Pam being dark-skinned? That's crazy.
The reason Ari Lennox is feeling the way she feels about Martin and Pam's friendship is because of her own life experiences as a dark-skinned black woman. So I'm not going to overlook that. I'm not going to downplay her feelings, take anything away from her. I'm simply going to say I don't agree with it, because when it comes to Martin and Pam's friendship, that's just what they did. That was the dynamic of their friendship. They played off one another. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Pam initiated the jokes. Sometimes Martin initiated the jokes. That's what they did. They dogged one another. That's just what they did. But they were cool with each other at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And when it came to Martin, anybody can get it from Martin. Even Gina's high yellow ass. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they did. That's who Martin was. And then when it came to Pam, Pam was fine. She was funny. She was successful, like a corporate woman, fashionable. All the dudes wanted Pam. You know what I'm saying? They never tried to paint her character as some ratchet ass, ghetto ass, dark-skinned black woman. Nah, she was that girl in that show. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what she's trying to get at with this, but I don't agree with it.
Ari Lennox ain't tripping. There were colorist jokes on that show. Like, he talked about her hair compared it to animals. Like, y'all are tweaking or selective hearing or uninformed or uneducated or haven't read a book, or maybe your education system failed you. But yeah, Martin was colorist. That's just a fact. And this is coming from someone who loves Martin. I think Martin deserves an Emmy, an honorary Emmy at this point. I was just rewatching Martin the other day before I go to bed because it's such a good show. But they absolutely were playing Pam like she was not a baddie. Pam was the blueprint for black women. She had a good job, professional, hair laid, outfit together. She always looked good. Pam was the rich auntie. For y'all to sit up here on this internet and act like and pretend or deny that there wasn't colorism going on that show just because it was one of y'all favorite shows probably is absolutely insane to me. But what I'm not going to do is let y'all drag black women just because they're expressing their feelings on this internet either. That's what's not going to happen as long as I'm up on this internet. Critical thinking goes a long way. Comprehension goes a long way. But I've been like making content on this app for a little bit over a year now, and I'm realizing, or I know for a fact, that that is a lost skill. And if you look it up, the comprehension level of our average adult is at a 6th grade level or something like that. Fact check me, but we see it every day.
I'm pretty sure if Ari Lennox was a light-skinned woman or even a white woman, with her saying that, on Martin was definitely targeting Pam because she was dark-skinned and the jokes were about her complexion. If she was light-skinned or a white woman, y'all wouldn't be saying nothing to her. But the fact that she's getting so much backlash is low-key proving her point because y'all want her to shut up, but what she's saying is actually accurate. Let's not act like Martin wasn't making fun of Pam and her features all the fucking time. The BDB comments, the fact that he would always mock her for wearing weave, even though Gina had way more fucking weave in her head than Pam did, but yet Pam was the one being made fun of. And let's not act like him saying that she was so masculine was not a blatant display of colorism, because as a dark-skinned woman, I've heard that way too many times. Let's call a spade a spade. He was always making a joke about her appearance, referring her to being an animal and all type of shit. And you want to tell me that that shit was not about colorism? Be so fucking for real. And if we're being honest, the jokes were never funny. I don't understand why they put that shit in the script any fucking way.
One thing black people gonna do in the black community is gaslight dark-skinned black women when they speak up about colorism. I knew exactly what Ari Lennox is talking about because I can't watch this show either. I cannot watch this show in good conscience because of the way that Martin dehumanized Pam at times by calling her a man, referring to her as a man and as BDB, like it was her name, and comparing her to animals. Those are dark-skinned jokes.
You're not gonna act like Martin didn't drill everybody on the show.
Since you hate men so much, why are you trying so hard to look like one? Oh, no, he didn't.
Those aren't jokes that he's making because, he's flirting with Pam. He wants Pam. No, those are jokes that he's getting away with because she's a dark-skinned woman, because he never compared Gina to an animal. What did he joke Gina about? Because I see people talking about, he joked Gina too. Her head was big. That's what he joked Gina about. As much shit as he probably could have went on Gina for, he joked her for what? Her head being big? I want y'all to be so for real. This is why, I only have these conversations amongst, close friends, because people out in the world will literally, and sometimes friends too, will literally tell you that your experiences are made up in your head. But then you go out here and people compare you to animals and call you men because you're dark-skinned. So then when somebody comes forth and say, I can't watch this show because this is how this makes me feel, the black community is in an uproar because we just love Martin so much. We just love Martin so much in his disrespect. And this is why I believe black women get disrespected to this day, because there were so many shows. That perpetuated dark-skinned women in a negative light, from cartoons. I can go on for days. The Proud Family, Martin, even modern day stuff, because I had an issue with the dark-skinned woman's character in Harlem. There are so many shows that perpetuate dark-skinned women in negative light that y'all don't even see nothing wrong with it. So when a dark-skinned woman says, hey, this is offensive to me, this doesn't make me feel good, y'all say,
You're reaching. You're tripping. You're tripping. There's something wrong with you, Ari. There's something wrong. How dare you be offended? Same with Maxine. She would get, oh man, the way that was what was that man's name? The dude that she ended up being with. The way he used to go on her was crazy. And then people are like, oh, he teased her like that. Martin teased Pam like that because he liked her. No. These are jokes that he knew that he could get away with, and these are jokes that are her in our community, and these are the ways in which dark-skinned black women are disrespected on a regular basis. So, Ari, you're not tripping. I get you, because I can't watch this shit either no more.
Ari, come on now. Martin, colorist, really? Like, that just showed that you really did not watch the show. Because not at one point did they talk about complexion. Martin and Pam went back and forth, neck and neck. Like, and Gina got it too. Like, I'm not understanding where you're coming from here. Gina got it just as bad. They did a whole entire episode about Gina's head. I'm confused. I'm literally confused as to where you're pulling colorism from the show Martin. Like, it just really is confused. You would have hated Fred Nuster because, baby, the way that they ate each other up, I'm confused. And I'm pretty sure there's white shows where that dynamic did the same shit. I can't think of it right now because this Martin shit is blowing me. But girl, what? You are reaching for the stars. And I hate that for you. I very much hate that for you.
You know what really pisses me the fuck off? When y'all become bandwagon assholes on this fucking app. Like, y'all really piss me the fuck off. Like, the past 30 years, no one has ever said anything about Martin being colorist. None of that. Now all of a sudden, that Ari Lennox said something, who I love and I think is a really, really dope ass artist. Now that she said something, now all of a sudden everybody, oh yeah, it was colorist. Since when? Since when? It was never a time when Martin and Pam had a verbal conversation where she wasn't eating his ass up. Let's not act like she wasn't going toe to toe, blow to blow with fucking Martin. Like, stop playing. I hate when y'all do that shit. Now all of a sudden, everybody coming, yeah, it was colorist. It never gave that. I bet you sat there and watched the fucking episodes though. Like, you bitches don't got y'all own minds, and I'm sick of it. Knock it the fuck off. It was never that serious. It was never that deep. Go ahead on.
Now, even though Tashina Arnold has not spoken on this topic with Ari Lennox, she has addressed it before. In past interviews, she said that it had nothing to do with color. It was just, on some friendship type stuff between her and Martin on and off the screen. They always joked around like that, so it's natural. Now, when I watched the beginning of Pam and Martin's banter, in the beginning, it was not like that. But one day, because they were friends, Martin said something about Pam on the show, and she snapped back, and the producers noticed how much the audience took to it, and they loved it, so they started making that a reoccurrence in the show. That's what I remember it to be. But again, everybody's experience is everybody's experience. You cannot take away their experiences. But I do agree with self-love does start in the home. It does start at home. And that has a lot to do with your parents, your family, your friends, and the people who are around you to help you feel some type of way. There's a lot of confident people out there. Some are too confident, but there's a lot of people who are confident out there. And that's because of their upbringing and the people they surrounded themselves by. Mom and dad told you you were beautiful. Brothers and sisters told you you were beautiful. There was nothing else that anybody could tell you because of the people in your corner supporting you and helping uplift you, which will help you get the confidence that you have today. It was stuff like that. But so that's what I remember Martin to be as far as Martin and the Pam situation. And then as you can see, the lady who was offended about him calling Pam a man prior, which her opinion was it was a dark joke. You see a lighter woman, he also called a man. So I don't know. I mean, anybody who watches Martin can see if he called other people animals. I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 he did. But, that's just what it is. Now, according to this, as of July 30th, 2025, Martin, nobody on the cast has addressed Ari Lennox's opinion. But so I'm letting y'all know, because it's these YouTube channels on here that's AI like a mug, and they be loud and wrong, and they just be saying stuff, and they starting to really, really get on my nerves with this AI crap. It's really, really, really annoying me, especially the one about Robin Harris. That one bothers me a lot because he has 2 sons. He don't anyway, whatever the case. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation in the comments of the whole colorism conversation as a whole. Do you feel like you were ever put in that position and where you felt lower of yourself because of how somebody else made you feel? Like, let us know in the comments, and I will holler at y'all later. I'm
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena. Race my